Hello. I thought you might like to join me in a mindfulness of breathing today. So I know that some people find the stages of counting quite difficult, that the counting becomes a distraction. And of course, the counting is very useful, particularly when we first learn the mindfulness of breathing, because it's easy to think that we're more focused than we are. And the counting is like an anchor that keeps us on track. But when we've got quite a lot of experience of the mindfulness of breathing, the count can just get in the way. It can become the mindfulness of counting rather than the mindfulness of breathing. So I'm going to lead it in a slightly different way, giving us space as well. But see if you'd like to try this way of doing it. If you're used to my classes, you've probably experienced this before. So if you'd like to set yourselves up, make yourselves comfortable. We'll begin with settling into our posture. Bringing awareness to our surroundings. Even with our eyes closed, we're aware of space and sounds, light coming through our eyelids, relaxing our body into our seat, and feeling the sensations of our buttocks on the seat, on the chair or cushions, as well as our contact with the floor. Letting go of a couple of long out breaths, giving up the whole of the out breath as we allow our body to become still and quiet. And if we can allow our body to be still and quiet, our mind too will find a quiet place. Letting go of any tightness in our face, allowing the jaw to be loose, the eyes soft. And seeing if we can have a sense of being relaxed but fully awake, alive, in touch with our energy. So in this first stage of the mindfulness of breathing, we're going to focus on particularly the out-breath, and more particularly on the end of the out-breath. So as you breathe out, letting go of the whole of the out-breath. Relaxing deeply into that out-breath. So we're going to bring our awareness to the very end of the out-breath. and seeing if we can drop into the space or the gap at the end of the out breath. We're not trying to alter the breath in any way, but we're exploring, we're noticing, we're being interested in what actually happens at the end of our out breath. What is that experience? Is it a gap? Is it a resting place? So there's a space there, there's a space of freedom. So we try and let the breath be as natural as possible. We're not taking a bigger in-breath. We've got all the time in the world, and we just let go of that out-breath. We let go of the out-breath. Allow it to fully leave our body, and we rest deeply at the end of that out-breath. We rest into that experience, that spaciousness. So I'm going to be quiet now for a few minutes while we rest into the end of each out-breath. Allow your whole attention to rest into that space without looking for any particular experience. So moving on now to a second stage. We'll notice that first stage is about relaxing deeply and noticing our experience when we don't rush into the next breath. We've relaxed into space. So now we notice the particular feel of the in-breath, the energizing, awakening feel of the in-breath. There's a sense of uplift. As we draw in the breath without putting any extra emphasis on doing that, we just allow the breath to come into our body. We're aware of drawing in the world, drawing in the air from outside our body. So it's as if we're allowing the world to enter with that breath. We're connected to the rest of the world. So we can breathe in all that goodness, all that beauty. So in this stage, having a sense of the uplift, the energy of breathing in, having an awareness that we're breathing in the air from outside of our body and feeling that connection with the world. So now we'll move on to the third stage. And in this stage, we don't have to put any emphasis on any part of the breath, but we can be aware that our attention on the breath is not going to be the whole of our experience. Naturally enough, thoughts will arise, sensations arise, emotions arise. And we're not trying to block anything. So although we're giving our attention to the breath, probably about 60 or 70% of our attention might be on the breath. And there'll be a background of other experiences at the same time. And maybe our attention will get drawn to a thought or a sound. We don't need to be bothered by that. We don't need to see anything as a distraction. Instead, we're happy to keep most of our focus on the breath. And see if you can have an experience of the whole of the breath in the whole of the body. It's like we're having a sense of our breathing body. We can let our attention be drawn to whatever parts of the breathing body come to the fore in our awareness. Noticing any sense of contentment in the simplicity of the practice, just being here with our breath in a very simple way. So moving on now to a fourth stage, the final stage. So once again, we're going to do something a little differently than we usually do. So we're going to take our attention to each of our nostrils in turn. So beginning with the right nostril, bringing our attention to the in-breath and out-breath at that particular nostril. So we breathe in, focusing on the right nostril, the air inside the nostril, and all the sensations associated with that nostril. So as we breathe in, we feel those sensations, the air, the cool air, being drawn into that nostril. As we breathe out, the warmer air, experiencing that. And then the second breath, we focus on the left nostril. We breathe in and we breathe out, focusing on the sensations in the left nostril. So we take it in turn like that, focusing our attention on one nostril or the other as we breathe in and breathe out, and looking for the particular sensations, the discrete sensations that we can be aware of there, the warmth, the coolness, any dampness, any little hairs being moved. So just taking it in turns, right nostril, left nostril. And if we hear sounds like Tashi making a noise in his cage, just notice the effect on your body. Maybe it's a bit loud, maybe it makes us jump a bit, maybe we feel a kind of squeezing sensation. Just simply noticing and coming back to those sensations in the nostrils. we'll probably find that one or other of our nostrils is more sensitive. Maybe there's one nostril that we can't have a great deal of awareness of the sensations in. It doesn't matter. Just keep giving our attention there and letting the breath become natural, relaxed. You're not trying to emphasize the breath in any way. So we're going to gently bring the practice to a close now. Feeling the breath in the whole of the body. So without opening your eyes, just tell yourself that the meditation has ended and see if that feels any different. We're sitting here with our eyes closed. We're not giving our attention in any particular direction. So how do we feel? In our own time, opening our eyes, expanding our awareness to the whole of the room, to our whole environment. That's our meditation for today. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.